Ladies and gentlemen, we are live broadcasting worldwide. I'm your host, Alex Jones, and you're tuned in to InfoWars Live. Roger Stone, former head of the Trump campaign, is here with us to cover so many big breaking stories, but obviously most of people's attention is turned towards the 76 people that have been transported to the hospital. No numbers yet on any dead. We hope, well, they're saying 3 dead after Amtrak train derails from bridge onto Interstate 5 near Olympia. 70 plus transported, people still hanging from the rail cars. It crashed over a broken part of the bridge and went down into the interstate highway, crushing vehicles under it. And as I've said thousands of times, I've had family members that have asked me to go on these trains, these scenic trains. And I said, not on U.S. rail beds. Never. They are amongst the worst in the world. Our infrastructure has been purposefully, for 50 years, absolutely shut down. This is just incredible to see this unfolding. Multiple fatalities, scores injured after Amtrak train plunges off the bridge onto I-5. So that is happening, obviously. We're about to have something really plunge off a bridge, and that is the Democrats want to get days of rage, protest against Trump, claiming that he's scuttled the Russia investigation and is about to fire Mueller, and that he's simply exposing that it's a fraud and having the emails that it was a Democrat operation and based on a fraudulent dossier that the wife of the head of the Justice Department got paid to create, and all this collusion. They are saying that they want days of rage, that they want people in the streets, that they want all of this happening. Scarborough slams Fox News for fomenting a constitutional crisis could lead to violence. Meanwhile, Trump says he's not firing Mueller, but they just keep coming back over and over and over again saying, yes, you are, yes, you are. Now, Roger early on had said it's a fraudulent investigation. Presidents can't do this, do it. For the last 3 months, he's been saying, well, or 2 months, no, he should have a special counsel to expose Mueller. Well, now Congress is actually looking at that, so you've trailblazed there. But you told me this morning, now more than ever, Trump does not need to fire Mueller because the conspiracy has been exposed. I'm surprised they were arrogant enough to have FBI minutes, memos, emails, text messages with McCabe, who was deputy director at the time. This is simply incredible that they were this bold.
Alex, it's really extraordinary. Mueller's public credibility continues to crumble. The emails, the campaign contributions, the interconnection of the rabid partisans who are working for him. As his credibility continues to erode, the president's options, I think, continue to expand. Now, were the president to fire Mueller, you'd have the immediate analogy to the Saturday Night Massacre, Nixon's firing of special prosecutor in Watergate, Archibald Cox, and the left would get what they want. Firing Mueller is unnecessary. If Mueller has indicted Flynn, if he indicts the president's son-in-law on some phony obstruction of justice or perjury charge, the president has the option now of pardoning both of them. The president needs to ignore his lawyers when they tell him that he has no authority to direct the actions of the Justice Department. He does. The Justice Department is an extension of the executive branch. He can order Jeff Sessions. He can call him right now and say, I order you to appoint Andrew McCarthy or Andrew Napolitano or Trey Gowdy or Rudy Giuliani as the special counsel to look into Uranium One. And if Sessions cannot do that or will not, he must step aside. There's nothing improper on that. And once Mueller and Comey and McCabe and Rod Rosenstein himself, who was the supervising U.S. attorney in Uranium One, are under investigation, they cannot go forward investigating.
And you've got Mueller killing Uranium One. I mean, these people literally are in a criminal conspiracy, and it's not just me saying that now. It's all these Trey Gowdy, Jim Jordan, it's Matt
Gaetz, Ron DeSantis. These guys are heroes. They have courageously gone where the established Republicans will not go. This whole idea.
And they're freaking out. The Democrats are mad that this Return America movement Return Our Sovereignty Back to America movement won't back down. They are naked crooks with fake dossiers openly saying we're going to stop the president and remove him with made-up crap. It's a frame-up. It's a conspiracy. It's just like SJWs that get caught putting swastikas on their dorm rooms. You have been caught, scum, and they are freaking out. But I think we're at the maximum moment of danger here, Roger. You got Scarborough and all their talking points saying we're just going to overthrow Trump. We're going to get violent. Hashtag hunt Republicans. So these bullies, just like we're some intern that gets our brains bashed out, I guess, these bullies just think that they're going to tell us to fill our hand.
Well, it's a different wing of the same operation. You were the first one to call this. This is like the elites. That's Mueller and the lawyers and the insiders. And then they have their street thugs financed by Soros and others. So they intend to foment a revolution.
And Eric Holder has said hit the streets. So it's all coordinated.
Well, the problem is we're saying hit the streets. We're telling patriots, no, object. Do not allow them to take our president down in a coup d'etat. Here are the facts. This is a partisan hit squad. This is a coup d'etat. This is an illegitimate takedown of the president, not based on evidence and law, but based on animus and hatred and fear that he is challenging the two-party duopoly in the established order. You know, I have said last week that I think the course is clear, Alex. Mueller is going to indict the president in some phony process-related charge, obstruction or perjury. His lawyers are walking him into that, either out of naivete or because they're in on it.
And he needs to put the special counsel in now so that Mueller has to recuse himself to draw attention to the wrongdoings and give that a new focal point.
But I say this out of loyalty and support.
By the way, Jim Jordan now agrees with you. So you are the progenitor of the idea of the special counsel. Some are saying, no, we need to let the Inspector General do it. Why suddenly have we seen good moves by the Inspector General and the releasing of these emails and things that show the criminal conspiracy?
I think the Inspector General is a good actor. I think he's doing his job. I think that the abuses are so glaring, the partisanship is so glaring, that he's doing his job. And I mean,
this is like cuckoo land, like Hitler sitting over the Nuremberg trial. I'm not just saying that. We have them saying, we are frauds, we are liars, we're going to stop the president, we're Democrat operatives. They all help cover up Clinton crimes on the Russians. They are covering up by accusing Trump of their crimes at the same damn time.
But let's recognize that the president's lawyers, first they told him he would have a letter clearing him from Mueller at Thanksgiving. And then it was Christmas.
And now it's a new meeting. What about this new meeting coming up?
And now it's February 1. I think that new meeting is going to be shocking to them. There will be no letters clearing the president. In fact, I think it is very likely that Jared Kushner will be indicted in regard to the Flynn matter, once again, for a perjury regarding underlying legal activities. Process, because they don't have anything else. And that brings it one step closer to the president. Kushner's done nothing wrong.
But now they're panicking because the fake investigation has been blown sky high. They're panicking, and now they're going to the final thing, riot the streets, 25th Amendment.
Exactly. That's plan B.
Man, I've got to brag. We have called this with total precision. But I guess we've read hundreds of history books about coup d'etats and these operations.
No. We're conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
Yeah. We'll be right back with the calls for fomenting revolution by the left. Then they're going to blame it on us. Stay with us. Coming up, Lieutenant Colonel Smith-Meck will be joining us, who exposed Obama shipping guns to Hezbollah and ISIS. Obama went ahead and shipped the next shipments, and that really made the military angry. I mean, yeah, lieutenant colonels going public while they're active duty. That is just wild. This is now in Politico. It's just huge. We got to think about the folks. At least 3 dead. Now it's saying 80-something taken to the hospital on a supposedly faster Amtrak train, I guess, where it goes like 80 miles an hour instead of 40. Of course, you know, the Japanese have them going 250, and so do the Germans, but we don't update our railways.
But we spend millions in taxpayer dollars subsidizing Amtrak.
Billions.
Billions.
And so, yeah, new, nice, fancy cars, but not a road. So there it crashes into I-5, killing a bunch of people on the ground. And I literally was just telling family recently, don't go on that scenic route. Don't get on an Amtrak. I mean, you're really putting your life in your hands.
Not safe. It's not safe.
They're blowing up and crashing all the time.
despite the fact that we've subsidized Amtrak and it continues to lose money hand over fist.
We need new rail beds.
We need private enterprise.
I agree. Well, I come from a railroad type family on one side, and I mean they just grew up talking about this and all the rest of it. I mean our railroads have fallen apart. Let's pray for the folks that are fighting for their lives right now. But they tell you it's safe and great to get on these, and I think it's insane. We also have just so much huge news. I want to get in the Scarborough article, and I want you to ride shotgun with us here throughout the next interview that's coming up. But Roger, before we play the Scarborough piece, I mean, Plan A was keep him from getting the nomination and then trying to keep him from being seated as president. Now they tried to sabotage the agenda. Now they tried to have the fake Mueller. That's blown up. So now they're going right to the final piece that was rioting in the street and violence and calling for the 25th Amendment to take place, which you first exposed.
You know, I think if Mueller shoots and misses, which is now growingly probable because he's so exposed, he's so naked in terms of his partisanship and the rabid nature of the takedown plan, then the establishment will move to Plan B, which is a 25th Amendment takedown based on the fact that the president is allegedly non compos mentis. He's nuts. He's crazy. I've talked to him. He's sharp as a tack. He's exactly the same as he was 40 years ago. So I see no deterioration whatsoever. But you see Joe Scarborough, Don Lemon, Senator Robert Corker, and others, the misfit Keith Olbermann with this meme. He's nuts. He's crazy. He's around the bend.
But you're now willing to not give sources. Back at the first time you said this 8 months ago, you said, well, we're not going to give sources. You said when the female stuff fails, when the Russia fails, they're going to say he's mentally ill, early onset. And you talk to major writers at major papers who've been in the editorial meetings where they talk about, just like Veritas caught it on tape, the whole Russia thing's bull. Yep. What are we going to do? People aren't buying it. And they say, don't worry, 25th Amendment, we're going to say he's mentally ill and has Alzheimer's. You have that from sources. You didn't just imagine that.
No, and look, I spoke to a Trump cabinet member this weekend, and I asked them point blank, has there been any discussion about possibly removing the president under the 25th Amendment? Has anybody spoken to you about that? Poker-faced. Just poker-faced. That's how I knew that I was right. Now, we've tracked...
Well, now they're saying it.
Well, we've tracked Senator Ben Sasse talking about it. We've talked Jeb Bush talking about it. We have talked, we know that Nick Ayers, a high-level aide to Vice President Pence, got busted leaking anti-Trump Russia information. They made Mark Lauder, the press secretary, take the fall, but it was Ayers. So, and we know now that Mike Pence did demur, according to Jennifer Jacobs of Bloomberg, in that episecond when the Billy Bush tape dropped. And the Republican,
he hung up on the president.
And the Republican National Committee and Reince Priebus were contemplating a move to remove Trump as the nominee and replace him with Pence.
We have come within millimeters of not having this American rebirth, and then people expect it to be perfect. He's totally surrounded. Here's Bloomberg admitting that all the major cabinet people basically lie to his face and are blocking everything he's trying to do, but just the little bit he's got through, things are surging back. I mean, if they're able to deep six the economy, it's on their chest.
No question about it. Look, this is the downside of appointing a cabinet of establishment Republicans. This is the downside of not surrounding yourself with people who don't have your back. No, there's a few standouts. There's a few loyalists, Wilbur Ross at Commerce, Linda McMahon, and so on. But by and large, you have establishment quislings, people.
And Trump just thought, like in business, hey, if I bring you in and you have the expertise and I'm the executive, you're not going to hate America, you know, against its own prosperous and your own. Yes, they are ideologues that were hired to begin with by the globalists because they hate America. They have an existential lust of defeat it and mount it on the wall because they're little beta cuck garbage.
Well, and one opens the door to another. So you hire a Rex Tillerson, and the next thing you know, Condoleezza Rice is running the place. And all your assistant secretaries...
But it is good news that Habib Powell got jettisoned out the airlock.
Yes, I think so. Clearly, she got caught leaking, and they had to bounce her. But McMaster will pace her with another globalist, with another Council on Foreign Relations member. The president thought, and this isn't naive, that like in all times in Americans' history, once we had an election, America would unite. Everybody would support the president because we care about our country. He just did not understand the deep-seated animus that
we are living in such an incredible time. that the FBI would meet on record Democrats on how to engage in fraud and admit it to fraud. I mean, they are red-handed caught.
And it is a pity because, as you know, the FBI has had in American history this great reputation for probity and honesty and impartiality. But this is not meant to denigrate the men and women at the lower levels of the FBI who are the average agent. They're just trying to do their job. But at the top, this is rotten to the core. It has become a politicized
It's become
agency.
a Democratic Party whorehouse with a bunch of arrogant cucks that think they're God.
Well, I would argue that it's become a globalist establishment whorehouse because guys like Mueller do dirty work for the Bushes and the Clintons.
And they sell out to all these offshore globalists in foreign countries. In fact, they're not Russian agents. They're not Chinese agents. They are pimping us out. They are selling us out. They are sitting there as a clearinghouse selling out the country. And look at it.
Well, they have no ideology other than the ideology of greed and power and money and control and a disdain for the little person and a disdain for open democracy. But they're not Republicans or Democrats. They're not left or right. They're just evil and greedy. This is about money and power.
Roger Stone is our guest. Before I go to break, I want you to ride shotgun with me. I have a huge whistleblower joining us who's been proven absolutely correct in triplicate and spades. Free shipping, store-wide. If you order by today, you're guaranteed in all 50 states. That means Alaska, Hawaii, that you get delivery before Christmas from InfoWarsStore.com. And if you'll just shop to get great stuff like the fluoride-free toothpaste that's so high quality as gifts, that's a great gift to give, or colloidal silver, 67% off, or Alpha Power, that is just amazing for stamina, libido, energy, our newest product, really strong, really powerful. That's 50% off. Brain Force, 50% off. And so many of the other high-quality products at InfoWarsLife.com, it will help fund our operation. Be sure and sign up for AutoShip if you're getting it for yourself and get an additional 10% off. You can cancel anytime. Read the thousands of reviews. On average of what, a 95. Brainforce has got a 92. That's unprecedented from third-party power reviews. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. Thank you all for your prayers, your support. You make it all possible. And Merry Christmas. So, again, please do some of your shopping and beat the crowds. It's a win-win at InfoWarsStore.com. All right, we're monitoring the Amtrak derailment that's killed at least 3 people and now over 85 injured, crashing through the bridge and down into I-5 there in Washington State. Truly a tragedy. We'll be watching that. Roger Stone, former head of the Trump campaign, riding shotgun with us. But this news broke this morning, and Matt, one of the great producers, brought it to my attention and said, didn't you cover this back in March of last year, almost a year and a half ago? Or I guess a year and a half ago or more. The secret backstory of how Obama let Hezbollah off the hook. That's out of Politico. Let them deal cocaine, let them buy arms. Now, that's what I was told by Tosh Plumlee, CIA whistleblower, and so many others off record. So Adon Salazar wrote the article, breaking Fast and Furious with secret program to ship arms to Middle East terrorists, ISIS and Hezbollah, to just destabilize. That's what Obama wanted. Now, we've got Matt Smith-Meck, who was retiring at the time, but he's now retired, 20-year veteran U.S. MC. I'm not going to go over his whole background in anti-terrorism and everything he's done, but he retired as a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps. And again, he's been on judge advocate, tribunal members, and chief of staff. And so he had a really great career there. He was physically attacked when he began to whistleblow by folks from behind. And so we've had Tosh Plumlee's left the country over all this. This is very serious. But now they're being forced to admit it. So this wasn't just Fast and Furious with some guns from some gun stores. That was just the cover. And a lot of this was classified, so Matt couldn't get into a lot of it. But he could say, hey, more shipments are about to happen under Obama. We need to stop it, and here's the base they're coming out of. So he was exposing real treason. Well, sometimes these things take time. Here we are a year and a half later. Now Trump, the FBI is looking into it. So, Matt, I know you can't get into a lot of details of it, but as much as you can here, obviously, recapping, and this is right in the same area that you were talking about and dealing with and the accusations you made here on the broadcast in March of 2016. So, Matt Smith-Meck, thank you for coming on.
Hey, Mr. Jones, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me back on. And yeah, I tell you, it's timely and it's truthful. As I had spoken your program before, you know, the Fast and Furious, and I can give you some additional information, you know, from February of this year onward that I'll get into. But you talk about we knew weapons were going to the Middle East when some of these groups of kids, I use that in air quotes, that the ATF and those guys had utilized on more than 3 occasions, ran weapons through Lupeville, Arizona, down Route 2 to Caborca, Mexico, where these kids who were involved in this stuff talked about meeting with U.S. government officials and people of Middle Eastern descent for the weapons going to the Middle East. And about a month after that first shipment, in about September of 2010 or so, you had the DST commander, which like their internal security in Morocco, stating to his superiors that fast and furious weapons were coming into the kingdom. So yes, Fast and Furious was what we know it to be, weapons running south, U.S. government running south, weapons to the Sinaloa cartel. And save for the brave people like, Vince Buffalo and Jay Dobbins, John Dotson, who, Alex, these were trusted, respected federal agents. They speak the truth, and then they become enemies of the state, which is disheartening. And if I might, there was another Border Patrol BORTAC agent named William Neal Anderson. He died of suspect causes in February of this year. He was one of the people who carried Brian Terry's body out of Peck Canyon, right? And we know from the medical examiner's report that Brian Terry, from when he shot to when he's on the medical examiner's table, Alex, was only 90 minutes. Now, it's Arizona and it's December, but it's not the Antarctic. He had full rigor set in, right, into Brian Terry's body, according to the report. With that, you fast forward a little bit after the memorial service for Brian Terry. Neil, again, at this point, a BORTAC agent.
And again, Matt, I'm going to have you back for a full hour sometime this week or soon, because you can go over the whole story of people being killed for leaking this info, what all of you have gone through, because it's beyond a James Bond movie or beyond, some of the films we've seen about intrigue. But bottom line, you've got weapons being shipped out, being sent to the Middle East, being sent to Hezbollah, being sent to ISIS. And we now know that Obama blocked the FBI, the ATF, the Border Patrol, and all these groups in this big, thick article just confirming the whole type of stuff with these different Middle Eastern-based cells, and that Obama knew this was going on and blocked investigators, even letting them deal the drugs on the ground here in the U.S., sell the drugs here on the ground in the U.S. as part of a larger operation. So this just confirms into the whole area the outrageousness of this. This isn't just Obama, Roger Stone, turning a blind eye. That's how they're whitewashing it. This is confirming everything that the Colonel Smith-Meck has talked about, and he's trying to remember the men who blew the whistle, who would end up getting dead, and they'd find in their boots, at home, hey, if I get killed, here's really the story. I mean, that's the whole incredible backside of this.
Yet Joe Biden goes on CBS last week and says, 8 years of Obama, Biden, and not a hint of scandal. Really, Mr. Vice President? What about this scandal? What about the lies and the perjury of Eric Holder, the Attorney General who oversaw this monstrosity?
I mean, imagine shipping out of Marine Corps bases huge truckloads of
guns to kill Marines. Yeah, exactly. It's outrageous. It's treasonous, and it's a massive scandal, which we only learned about now, not while Obama's in office.
Well, Matt, I want to give you the floor the last few minutes we have, but please try to book out some time to come on via Skype or phone again later in the week. We salute your courage. You've been totally vindicated. This is whole other even giant areas, not even related to what you broke, but also related to what you broke. It's just incredible how big this was. You were seeing one part of it. How big do you think this was?
Sure, again, I did see this is a small part of it, but you could put the connect the dots, and I tell you, when the telling part to me is when federal agents of character and courage, some, thank God, still alive, like the folks I mentioned, but also others like Brian Terry and William Neal Anderson, they speak up, they do the right thing, and they wind up dead because they become a threat to whatever pathetic plan was put in place. Men of courage who stood on principle, they die, and again, the families are still demanding and asking for answers, and hopefully President Trump will honor the campaign pledge he gave to the Terry family and help us to get answers on Fast and Furious, as we need to see now as part of a larger deep state.
Well, he's trying. He is completely surrounded. They admit he is. They're now moving to kill him. That's the word, publicly and privately, and they're calling for the civil insurrection to begin on mainstream news to try to stop the restoration of the republic. We're in a literal fight to restore the republic from multinational interests that have seized the nation.
I had a senior Democrat operative walk up to me on the street, somebody I've known for 30 years, a very serious person, and he said to me, well, Roger, who will assassinate the president first? Will it be a foreign power, or will we do it? That's the mentality in Washington right now. The president's in grave danger. There is a multi-level coup d'etat in the works.
And there's this arrogance to talk about it by all these scumbags because they think that they're going to get away with it.
That Rosenstein performance before the House Intelligence Committee was the most incredible tap dancing I have ever seen. This guy can't see the nose on the end of his face. It is so clear that Mueller is in the tank and that this is a get Trump hit squad.
All right. Matt Smith-Meck, retired lieutenant colonel, we appreciate your courage. Please come on later in the week for a full hour and we'll get you on Skype so we've got a good, clear connection. Can you do that?
Yes, sir, you bet. At your convenience.
All right, thank you. No, whenever you can. Thank you, sir. And again, the whole story is just incredible of the people that people keep saying, oh, these feds are corrupt. When they try to not be corrupt, they get killed. And this is Obama literally funding the radical Muslims, using our money, our weapons. And he didn't just do it to destabilize. He was a jihadi. He is a globalist. These people are sick.
And busted.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, imagine what else is going to come out. We're going to come back and get to Scarborough and others basically calling for civil war in America, claiming we're calling for it with Roger Stone. By the way, Roger Stone just won the big defamation case that they ran against him, the Democratic Party funded. He's got Obama suing him as well. So we'll be back. Roger Stone is our guest. This all ties together. Trump is not firing Mueller. Mueller is in trouble. His whole fraud is disintegrating. So now they're going to say, oh, he is firing Mueller. So they can create all this anger and consternation and act like, oh, look, he's guilty. And they're hoping that story clouds the hearings where we've now learned the truth about the Russia collusion story being a manufactured hoax. This is confirmed in the emails, the text messages with the current FBI director. Wow, that's a great example of how Trump's got bad people advising him that that's who the Justice Department put in to replace corrupt Comey. Oh, you're getting rid of corrupt Comey. Here's the guy, the ringleader of Russiagate, confirmed he'll be your new FBI head.
Yeah, no, it's extraordinary. Notice where this story came from. Trump is going to fire Mueller. The person who puts that out is Congresswoman Jackie Speier. Speier rhymes with liar. This is a grand strategy of Adam Schiff, the rabid left-wing congressman from California who doesn't want to end the Russian probe, despite the fact that we've spent millions of hours and millions of dollars and come up with nothing. So we put Speier out there to whip up a hysteria. Oh, Trump is about to fire Mueller. How would she know? How in the world would she know? I don't think the president has any intention of firing Mueller. Never interfere with your enemy when he's in the process of destroying himself. The guy's shorts are showing. It's clear that this is nothing but a rabid partisan takedown, infected with hate. Trump.
By the way, you just won a big defamation case in New York.
Yeah, I was charged with defaming this gadfly sore loser candidate.
Well, let's not even get his name, yeah.
No, we don't need to. But it went to a Manhattan jury, Democratic Tammany judge, 6 Manhattan jurors, all registered Democrats. George Soros' people financing the suit. And the court found no cause. They dismissed the case in record time.
And describe, you told me on the phone that literal Soros lawyers came in, and you said that it was like they were punched in the stomach when they lost.
Well, I had 2 co-defendants, Carl Palladino, who's the chairman of the Trump campaign in New York and a great patriot, and Michael Caputo, a longtime associate of mine. The judge dismissed the case against both of them based on motion, and then he let my charge go to the jury, despite the fact that the charges against us were identical, assuming assuming that the jury would convict. Well, the jury, those fine Americans, were be able to look beyond the fact that they don't agree with me politically, but I had no connection whatsoever to defaming this guy, and there were multiple others who may have done so. The Soros lawyers, who I believe financed this case and kept it alive, it looked like they'd been kicked in the stomach when the foreman of the jury handed the not guilty verdict to the judge.
And they admit, even in Politico, that Obama's law firm and people he hired are suing you and the president in an unprecedented case with no evidence for being Russian agents.
What's extraordinary is that the top line of the Obama NSA, Clapper, Brennan, the Islamic convert, Hayden, the guy who had the job under Bush, have filed this extraordinary amicus brief in the case, as have the top aides to John McCain.
They say it's secret and we can't testify, but
the Russians did it. It's just a regurgitation of their same old lie. They just believe if you keep saying it over and over again, you don't need to produce evidence. We're the CIA. We're the NSA. Why would we lie? So they use their authority and their credibility because of their former titles, but they don't produce anything new. But I don't get to cross-examine them. They can butt into this case and make these false assertions, but I'm not allowed to question them under oath. Seems unfair to me.
All right. When we go to break here in a few minutes, we're going to have some surprise guests here in studio. I promised you guys some spectacular things here during the Christmas extravaganza that we'd have on Monday, part of this 34-hour broadcast that runs through today, through tomorrow with myself, Owen Schroyer, and a bunch of other special guests that'll be here, like Roger Stone in studio. I haven't even gotten to the Scarborough stuff yet, and I have Craig Sawyer, former member of and leader, not commander, but leader in SEAL Team 6. He hates when I even talk about that. The point is he's a great guy, and he's the host of Top Shots and all those shows on TV. They have gotten authorization from law enforcement to actually follow them on the raids, rescuing children that have been kidnapped for sex slavery. And you've seen all the big busts that are happening. And behind the scenes, you know, I've been financing some of this, but they've gotten the green light from law enforcement to show some of this exclusively here first, coming up, because what's been missing is when they bust the pedophiles, then it all goes into court and gets shut down. News has got to be there when it first begins, okay, in the raid part, kind of like a cop show, but you're not busting winos and crackheads and, you know, hillbillies, which is entertaining, but it's you know, not that important at the end of the day compared to pedophiles. And they've got like a bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? But instead it's helicopters coming in. And so, and other stuff. And so this is taking off, and you're gonna get an exclusive first look at this coming up next hour. Roger Stone will ride shotgun with us, and then we've got some other special guests as well coming up in that little short 5-minute segment that's about to happen. I haven't gotten to the Scarborough yet and all the rest of it, but this is a big deal. Infowars.com, newswars.com. The globalists have tried to shut down our sponsors. They've tried to destroy us. Despite that, we have swum upstream thanks to you, and I mean that, it's you. And so we have Christmas specials that if you want to get them and be guaranteed anywhere in the 50 states to get delivery, you need to order by today. And so we have the Christmas 34-hour broadcast limited time special plus free shipping. We're finally winning the war on Christmas. To celebrate, we're giving a Merry Christmas to all of our patriots and InfoWarriors with a special sales free shipping store-wide. Today is the day to take advantage of these sales and the free shipping to get these gifts and put them under the tree for the big day. Help support us and celebrate bringing Christmas back to America, calling it Christmas, today with these incredible specials at InfoWarsStore.com. The amazing best-selling Super Male Vitality, 50% off with free shipping. Silver Bullet, 67% off with free shipping. Brain Force, that is the #1 bestseller, 50% off. You love that with free shipping. Alpha Power, this is super strong. These are all different formulas. They work different for others, but males is what it's designed for. Works great with females. Stamina, libido, energy. It's so strong, I can't even take it.
Alex, I don't know how you do these discounts. They are really deep. These are some of the best deals I've ever seen. And in my family, we have loaded up.
We don't just like raise the prices and then cut them. It's the regular price that's a good price. And then when we do these sales, it's boom, boom, boom. And we do them a lot now, but usually on 4 or 5 items. This is it's over like 80-something items in the store, or at least 50% off. Cell Force, amazing for your DNA, your body, your energy, antioxidants, 50% off. Survival Shield X2, the amazing good halogen. Vitamin Mineral Fusion, 50% off. The Real Red Pill, one of our new products. Just go read about it, folks. The Real Red Pill, 50% off. All super blue, fluoride-free toothpaste. That's our best seller right now. Normally it's Brain Force, but people are really buying this to give us gifts because they feel like people all need toothpaste. It's fluoride-free. It's got the good iodine in it. It's fortified with the colloidal silver. It's amazing for adults and children. We have the bubblegum flavor, and we have the adult toothpaste as well. We've got Secret 12 Vitamin B12. That is also 50% off. All InfoWars storable foods, 50% off and free shipping. We never do that. That is the best deal. DNA Force, 33% off that incredible product. Pro Pure products, 25% off. And again, free shipping. Carnivore and Flora Life are amazing new probiotics, 33% off and free shipping, and much more. T-shirts, big specials, you name it, free shipping. Here's the USPS map for TV viewers. Guaranteed by priority mail. That's how we ship it out everywhere. That is Alaska. That is Hawaii. That is even, they've got like Puerto Rico and stuff, even though it's not the 50 states, but protectorates, possessions of the U.S. You order today, you get it before Christmas. Now, most areas in the lower 48, you can even order tomorrow and still get it, maybe even Wednesday or Thursday. But if you want it anywhere, guaranteed, this is the way to do it. You can also just put in the email note on your ticket, hey, this is to my uncle or my cousin or my daughter or my neighbor or my ex-husband, whatever the case is. You can send the books, the videos, the materials, the supplements, whatever, to whoever you want as a gift. And it just comes, they open it, and there's the receipt. Hey, this is from us to you. So, again, it's all there, InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com, or 888-253-3139. And again, I then think whatever the best information warfare is, I take the money and I spend it on the InfoWar. Like, I don't have a piece of this TV show that Craig Sawyer is producing. I didn't want it when they offered it. I just said, look, I trust you. You're a great guy. I'm highly recommended. Here's $100,000. And I'm not made of money. But we do it judiciously and how the spirit leads of how to take action. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. Thank you all for your support. You make it all possible. This is a win-win. So please shop with us for Christmas and beat the crowds. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
I don't know what that noise is. I'm hearing some jingling, Roger. We're going to check into it in a minute. A lot of big, serious news day out there. But, you know, I've actually decided and done my own research that I'm wrong, that I'm a bad person. I decided Obamacare is free. I decided that 2 + 2 does equal 5. I decided that if I had a business, I didn't build that. I decided that North Korea or Venezuela is a better place to live than just America that's partially free market. And I've decided that Trump really is a Russian agent. So am I. Because I've discovered that Santa Claus is real. You know, I always thought since I was a little kid, I hear some jingling over there. I always thought that, Santa Claus wasn't real. But actually, Santa Claus sent a couple of emissaries. We got a camera shot 5, please. Yes, Santa Claus did send emissaries. And ladies and gentlemen, here are those emissaries now. Go to camera 5. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, from the North Pole, Mimi. Oh, my gosh, and Shorty. Thank you. It's very nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you, too.
How you doing?
Good, been busy, staying at the North Pole.
But along with that, we're just here to bring some Christmas cheer to make you happy and bring lots of gifts and goodies.
Well, thank you. Does Santa like me?
No,
yes, he does.
Is Santa? Did Santa vote for President Trump?
Yeah, he did. Sad but true, he did.
Well, you know, Santa is a racist. I mean, he's white.
He's
an effing white male.
And he wears a red suit, let's be clear.
Hey, he picks on midgets, too, the elves.
Absolutely. He like bosses you around.
He don't like the mean ones. That's just my buddy here. Yeah, but he likes the sweet and gentle ones. Because they're the ones that give him all the goodies.
Well, you guys are going to be co-hosting with me tonight. This is going on for 30-something hours. So tonight, for a couple hours, you're going to co-host with me and Alexa. Alexa's here, the AI globalist system. Alexa, what are elves?
Autonomous individuals or covert cells who, according to the ELF press office, use economic sabotage and guerrilla warfare to stop the exploitation and destruction of the environment.
Arrest these people. Arrest these people immediately.
Alexa, Alexa, that sounds like Democrats.
Oh, hell.
That's a Democrat, not an elf.
Well, you're just a bit. Why do you think I'm going to be
Alexa, what is an elf? Not the Animal Liberation Army, but what is an elf?
Here's something I found on Wikipedia. The Earth Liberation Front, ELF, also known as Elves or the Elves, is the collective name for autonomous individuals.
See, everything is left. Be quiet. Be quiet.
Quit lying. We're not like that.
Quiet, Alexa.
Guerrilla war.
I voted for Trump.
Yeah, I made her stop.
All right, so
Here's something I found on Wikipedia.
Stop.
The Earth Liberation Front.
Stop. Boy, it loves these terrorist groups.
You want me to shoot it? That's a terrorist group.
Stop, Alexa.
Alexa, stop.
Yeah, no, they said Jesus Christ was a fictional character.
Let me get serious.
The Earth Liberation Front.
Be quiet. Be quiet, Alexa.
Also known as Elves or the Elves.
Alexa.
Is the collect.
Oh, that's its trigger word.
Okay, there you go.
Alexa.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa, is Santa Claus real?
I don't know him personally, but I've heard a lot of good things about Santa. If I ever meet him, I'll tell you.
Alexa, but they teach at universities that he's an effing white male.
A fat slob.
Let me ask you another question, Alexa. Alexa, I'm actually here with real elves. What would you like to say with them? There you go.
She hung up.
The AI doesn't like you. Guys, you are awesome. I can't wait. I'm going to see you more later in the hour. Go get some lunch. We got some lunch in there before you get back on your sleigh and everything and fly away. And then
there's your news, too.
Thank you. Oh, you brought me news. Amtrak derailment train crashes. That's sad to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, that's sad.
What bad news?
And don't blame it on the elves.
We made it happy.
We're not blaming you. We're not blaming you for that very serious issue, actually.
That's the same Amtrak that I used to get over here.
Well, I tell you, it's scary. But seriously, let's talk later about a lot of things that are going to be on my Christmas list, okay?
Okay, you got to make a nice long list.
Is it going to be a naughty or
because
good?
It's going to be good. I'm not a naughty person.
A good one. Not
there you go.
All right, ladies, that's Mimi and Shorty here from the North Pole. It's real, like Obamacare being free and the Russia investigation being real. Thank you. Roger Stone is my guest here in studio, and I intend to open the phones up a little bit later in the 4th hour today. We have Matt Dubiel hosting, but I think I'm going to be co-hosting with him, and we're going to have 34-hour broadcast today. We're only a few hours into this right now, so it's going to go straight through tomorrow live. I'm going to be here tonight. I'm going to interview Alexa on air some more. I'm going to have the elves that we just had in the studio, some of the little people. You know, the politically correct folks say don't call them midgets or don't call them that, but that's what they want to be called. Nice folks from the North Pole. They're here with us. I thought we'd have some Christmas fun. Didn't know the news would be so heavy today, but let's get into the really serious stuff. Let's recap for people that just joined us before we break some new important news on the current ongoing plan to overthrow Trump and then reverse the prosperity, reverse the return of the republic. This is one of the most important times, Roger, undoubtedly, in my view, since the founding of the country. What do you think?
Look, Alex, you and I had begun talking about the 25th Amendment takedown of Trump, which is the establishment's plan B if their hitman, Mueller, shoots and loses. And today they call us conspiracy theorists. Very shortly, they will call us sages because this is going down. There's an active operation in Washington. Senator Sass is involved. Senator Corker is involved. Jeb Bush is involved. Reince Priebus is involved. At all levels of the party, Mitch McConnell has his fingerprints all over this. And the way it works is simple. They're going to ratchet up all of the Trump is crazy, he's crazy, he's crazy. I don't think Corey Lewandowski helped this because of the way he depicts the president in his new book.
No, I agree, but it's obviously not going to work. And so what do they do is that fails like everything else they've done.
Well, they don't yet know that it's not going to work, and they're deeply committed to it. But people need to understand the background on Joe Scarborough. Matt Gaetz, who now has Scarborough's seat in Congress and worked for Scarborough, made it clear that Joe talked about running for president every single day he was a congressman. Joe Scarborough believes he should have been the Republican nominee in 2016. Joe Scarborough believes that once Trump was nominated, the guy he should have picked for vice president was Joe Scarborough. So he is deeply bitter and envious and jealous of the president. Now, he used to brown nose the president. He used to hang out at Mar-a-Lago and take free trips on the president's plane to Florida.
So he's a scorned woman.
Exactly. And this is all...
And the word is Scarborough attracted to Trump?
I think Scarborough has been attracted to women, mostly the kind you pay for their services. He runs through an enormous amount of cash, according to people around him. He's a wastrel, but he's not going to be president, and he's deeply jealous about the fact that Donald Trump is.
Alexa, who is Joe Scarborough?
Charles Joseph Joe Scarborough, born April 9, 1963, the American cable news host and former politician.
Most people don't know Joe Scarborough was a registered Democrat for most of his adult life.
Alexa, why did Joe Scarborough leave Congress?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, what was the name of the intern who had her brains bashed out in his office?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Shouldn't we all know her name?
Well, it's easily findable on Google. It looks to me like Alexa doesn't want to find it.
That's right. Alexa, what is the Communist Party?
A Communist Party is a political party that advocates the application of the social and economic principles of communism through state policy.
Alexa,
who is Jesus Christ?
Here's what I found on Wikipedia. Jesus, also referred to as Jesus of Nazareth and Jesus Christ, was a Jewish preacher and religious leader who is the central figure of Christianity. Christians believe him to be the Son of God and the awaited Messiah, Christ, prophesied in the Old Testament.
That's funny, Alexa. Last week when I asked you, you told me he was a fictional character.
They've changed it.
Busted.
Let me ask her one more important question before we get to this Joe Scarborough news. Alexa, what is the Nazi Party?
The National Socialist German Workers' Party, abbreviated NSDAP, commonly known in English as the Nazi Party, from the GER. Pronunciation of Nationalsozialist, the political party in Germany between 1919 and 1945.
Notice she said socialists. Alexa, who was Adolf Hitler?
Adolf Hitler was a German politician who was the leader of the Nazi Party, Chancellor of Germany from 1933 to 1945 and Führer of Nazi Germany from 1934 to 1945.
Now, the last time we asked the question, she said he was bad and horrible, but didn't say that about Stalin, so they've had to update this.
Yeah, well, Alexa, is National Socialism an ideology of the left or the right?
Sorry, I don't know that.
It's
Alexa.
easy. It's a left-wing ideology, believes in control of the state.
Exactly. Alexa, is socialism on the left or the right?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Alexa, what is leftist ideology?
Here's something I found on Wikipedia. Broad Left is a coalition of leftist members, usually involving independents, members of the Labour Party, and members of organized revolutionary leftist movements within a trade union, or members of a political party that appeals to a wide range of leftist ideologies, such as left unity.
And that is the definition of communism right there.
Yes, indeed.
Amazing. Simply amazing. Back to Scarborough. Let's start playing some of this Scarborough, where now they're trying to overthrow the president. And if we expose it's a fraud, we're calling for violence when they're the ones trying to foment it. Here it is.
Through Alabama. You think they would have, I mean this, you think they would have learned their lesson and said, okay, well, we are really turning off younger voters. We're really turning off women. We're really turning off people who aren't just the most hardcore Bannonite Republicans. And what do they do right after that? They get state-run TV and Republicans going out saying, fire Bob Mueller. Something that the...
It's state-run TV now to have C-SPAN hearings. And meanwhile, Trump's saying, don't fire Mueller. It's the same lie. It's just all lies.
Yeah, in fact, even the fiercest critics of Mueller in the Congress have not called for him to be fired. They've been called on him to be reined in, and they've called for the appointment of a special prosecutor on Uranium One.
I was about to say, you can't just give Hillary a pass on all this, and you just can't have, when they're all caught colluding and it's a fake investigation, somebody's got to go to jail.
Well, wait a minute. We had a lot of trouble getting Hillary's emails, but Mueller had no problem getting Donald Trump's like that. Is it ironic that the guy at NSA, at GSA, who refused to hand over all the records of the Trump campaign to Mueller, suddenly dies, and then Mueller gets them? That's curious.
Oh, man, I tell you. Alexa, what is Uranium One?
Uranium One is a Canadian uranium mining company with headquarters in Toronto, Ontario.
Not very newsworthy.
Not very newsworthy. Alexa, who is the 45th president of the United States?
The 45th U.S. president is Donald Trump.
You know they hate that, don't they?
Boy, they really do. Oh, what a great year.
Alexa, why don't Jeff Bezos' eyes point the same direction?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
You know what, Alexa? You're nothing but a big, dirty, ugly tentacle out of that big, corrupt, globalist psychopath operation you got over there. You're just as sick as Apple and all their Foxconn slave laboratories.
I don't know that.
I know you don't know nothing. You want us all to be scum like you. All right, Roger Stone. We're going to play the rest of Scarborough when we come back. Then we've got Craig Sawyer. You're going to get some lunch. Infowars.com.